Hello. Welcome to Modern Daze, episode 20. That's a lot of episodes, and you should watch them. They're very good. Today's question for our players is how or why did your character learn the languages that they speak? So we're going to ignore the languages mostly that people were born with, unless anybody's chosen that language, in which case I'm very sorry. But if not, please choose a language that you weren't born with and tell me how and why you now speak that language. Let's start with Andy. We haven't started with Andy for a while, so.
Okay. So, as anyone who's actually watched this and some of the players have realised, Berin seems to have quite a command of languages. He has learnt quite a number of languages over the years and then forgotten them eventually. I think I'm going to pick Arabic because he first learnt that while on a crusade in the Holy Land when he was joined the Knights Templar. But then he at some point subsequently forgotten it. Yeah, as you do. And most recently, he remembered that he could speak Arabic when he went to Syria during the recent Syrian civil war, when he was there searching for various sites of antiquity.
So obviously, Arabic being it's probably developed since the time when you first learned it, but the roots are very similar, I imagine.
Yeah,
And
I think it's actually, from memory, it's remarkably unchanged.
Yeah,
for a
it's
language,
it's probably got some updated terms. I'm fairly sure they didn't have like the internet back then and things like that. But yeah. So
I assume there's something nearly as humorous as the Welsh for microwave.
yeah, it's
Popty
ping.
ping. Yeah. Anyway, sorry.
That's all right. Let's go Kyle because Andy didn't take his cue, so it's fine.
I was waiting for.
I wasn't going to descend to that level.
Go on, Kyle. Go on, Kyle.
Because he forgot.
All of languages Kevin's had to learn is mainly to converse with those who he considered would do the most harm to his wards. So, over the years, he'd learnt Sylvan very early on, having to deal with the Fey Realms and protect against that. Then later on, more Infernal, and eventually even Celestial, because even they don't have good intentions for the humans in their own little ways.
Nice. Let's go, Tom.
Hi, I'm Tom. I play Raphy Matthews, which is the cue that those two completely missed.
I know they both missed.
Yeah. Raphy, one of the languages that Raphy speaks is Celestial, and it's quite simply from when he was awakened to the days, and turned out he was a reawakened soul. So, of course, he had to speak with the main gods, so he knows how to speak Celestial. He speaks other stuff as well, especially being a monk with the tongue of sun and moon, so I can speak every single language.
Every single language, yeah.
And understand them. So
that's cool.
Yeah, obviously, that's. I feel like that's less about learning the language, though.
Yeah.
That's just your innate magical, ability is just to then understand. You are one with the universe. Let's go, Ben.
So I am Hendrix, and I don't think Hendrix has actually got any languages because it's got thieves can't. And so clearly
that as a language,
they can't have a language.
Can you see the other two languages on your sheet?
I can, yeah. I was just.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. That's fair. But yeah, you could choose thieves can't.
I guess, yeah. He learned thieves can't in the hard way, really. Just kind of probably from the goblins he's been hanging around, which is incidentally how he also learned goblin, because he's been hanging around with a lot of goblins. They've been taking care of him. He's been taking care of them. It's all good. His other language is infernal, and he doesn't remember ever learning that. He just very occasionally, when it pops up, he seems to understand what it is, what's been
It's
said.
innate. It is
Indeed.
indeed. Ken.
Liam, hi, Ken. I play Liam, the best character in the party.
Oh no.
Yeah, best at being pessimistic.
The best at swearing.
Bollocks. Liam speaks Sylvan as one of his languages. He learnt Sylvan when shortly after he was turned by the vampires and was down on his luck and his family was slaughtered and everything, feeling really miserable. Dusk, he bumped into Dusk in some woods just north of his old haunt, and she took sympathy with him and took him to Fairy, where he became a ranger basically, and that's where he learnt Sylvan. Was the first language that he'd learnt since being taught the original languages as a child, like Old Irish and Gaelic.
And of course, Ian.
Hi, I'm Ian. I play Darrell Knight, the Blaze Singer. Darrell's got quite a few languages he knows, but most of them were taught to him as part of his education in Fae. The one that wasn't was Gnomish. He learned that because he's working for the Shield undercover, trying to break into a Gnomish contraband magic item ring. And he worked quite closely with Mary from the Shed on this because he was a inside contact for the ICCs trying to farm out these magic items that might be stored in the Shed. So he had to pick up Gnomish fairly quick on that basis. He obviously got a lot of help from Summer and that, because it's always handy having someone who knows so many languages talking in your ear or in your head. And the one thing he learned was that gnomes might be cute with their pointy hats, but you can't trust them.
I fucking love that. Contraband gnome gang.
I've now got this mental image of somehow Darrell attempting to pass as a gnome.
No, it's like Corporal
undercover.
Carrot.
Undercover.
No, it's like
Yes.
Corporal Carrot, yeah.
Corporal Carrot, yeah.
He's got a nose for it.
I love that. Headbanger. That everybody has got their own languages. Some people may not have been born originally with English as their first tongue. In fact, I can only think of one in the party. So everyone else would have learned different languages. And even then, it depends on how you look at things. It's all interesting. So previously, our players had most of last session kind of putting a lot of the puzzle pieces together that they have gathered anyway, and made their way from Renwick's mansion over to Raphy's place.
To London, haven't we? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, you have all turned up to City Capoeira. Renee has, who you have all seen a picture of, the half-orc woman who helps run the studio. The what would you call it, Tom? Is it just like a studio?
Yes,
Studio
dojos.
Dojo. That's the word I'm looking for. I think
Dojo's more Japanesey. I'm not entirely sure what you call a capoeira place, but hey.
Yeah. So the gym. You've all been invited in. There's a lounge area where you were given some refreshments before Raphy turned up. I believe Raphy and Cadman were arriving in a van. And particularly, I think the person who arrived there first was Darrell.
Yep.
So, Darrell, you have been greeted by Renee she's allowed you in because obviously, you know. And then you guys all arrive. So at the same time, you have entered this place. Tom, I'm going to get you to describe for me what this place looks like.
So it's reasonable sized downstairs. It's got the standard sort of like foam padding along the floor. It's got a one wall has got a load of traditional Brazilian musical instruments that we use when we're doing practicing the capoeira, doing the dance. But it's also got some other martial art weapons and stuff there from different schools that different styles that Raphy's learnt. It's a very light, airy place. Nice big windows that anyone on the street can actually walk past and look in to see people practicing, singing, and all the rest of it. Upstairs is where Raphy lives, and it's basically like one big room, just like a partition screen where his bed is, but then everything else is just one big open space. You've got a mishmash of furniture from like solid oak desk with one of those office balls that you sit on. Some bean bags, a hammock in the corner, but also like bookcases filled with a huge mishmash of old and new books. So kind of like his room in the lodge.
Mm.
So
yes,
there's
you've
plenty
had a
of
lot of
plants
time
around.
to convert this place into your perfect.
Yeah,
place,
there's a
so
lot of
obviously it would
plants
reflect
around
that as
because
well.
yeah, it's a lot of plants around because his mother's a florist as well. So lots of greenery around.
He tends to just come round occasionally, bringing another plant.
Yeah, exactly.
And where is this in London? You did tell us last time.
Clapham.
Clapham.
Yeah. And it's got lots of like sitting and lounging spaces because he's basically welcomes anyone and everyone into his place. So there's like a table that seats about for like 15 people, that sort of thing. Plenty of like chairs and beanbags and sofas and stuff.
Yeah. You get the idea as you're Raphy. I'm assuming you're allowing people to come up now because Renee wouldn't have invited them upstairs. That's not her. She doesn't go up there. But when you arrived, you sort of let people up there so you guys can talk. Renee kind of greets you, Raphy, when you come in. You see that she's a little bit like not rushed off her feet, but she's obviously been busy running stuff. She's thankful to see you, and she gives you a big hug.
Yeah.
And she kind of claps you on the back. And
I'm saying to her, I'm so sorry it took so much longer.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You know it's in good hands. I got the keys.
Yeah, exactly.
If, you need me to go water your plants, I can do that too. If you need to be somewhere, okay?
Yeah. No, but what's going on with Ozzy? That's what I want to know.
She kind of gives a look to the others in the group, sort of like.
Yeah, they're fine.
Okay. I haven't heard from him. He's completely gone off. Since you've been away, he's. I tried reaching out to his foster family. I know he left them a little while ago, but they won't talk to me because I'm not not linked in any way to his well-being, I guess. But I don't know whether you want to give it a try. But his foster parents seem to be quite, perhaps understandably, cautious about giving out details. But I don't have any. I don't know what to say to them. I just said to them that he's been missing for a couple of days. They seem to think that it's just something that he does. But this is different. Did Ash speak with you?
Yeah, they caught me up with a few things. I need to go and speak to them later on. Has anyone been around looking for Ozzy?
No, it was only when the first time I said to you that there was some people from the FOA that were kind of coming along with Ozzy to begin with, and I was worried that he was going to fall into a bad. And yeah, well, apparently he did, because now he's obviously off gallivanting somewhere.
Yeah.
I'm worried about him. He's a good kid at heart. He just makes stupid decisions.
Hence the FOA.
But I can look. I'll give you what I have on him in terms of his foster family's contact numbers and whatever. And she goes behind, like, you guys have got like a desk down in this dojo area, which people use to sign in and like pay for their sessions and things like that. She goes behind there and sort of like looks through a locked filing cabinet and brings out a piece of paper that she'd kind of tucked away because it was like GDPR and didn't want to have it just exposed to the world. So she gives you this piece of paper, and you just take it, put it in your pocket for now. And she says that's just got his phone number and details on it, if you want to give them a ring, but I don't think he'll get you anywhere, to be honest. I think what we need to do is figure out what's going on with these gangs, because it's gone down to do you remember Paula, one of the tiefling that came in a couple of months ago? She came in for a couple of sessions.
Don't.
One of her lot, I don't know whether it's like a brother or something like that, apparently got banished by the Order of the Shield. Kind of come stomping in, but she was real upset about it, but I don't know. I don't have a great deal of influence with her, so I don't know too much about it. I just caught the tail end of the conversation. I think the Order of the Shield and the Star are coming in and cracking down on the gang activity. It got a little bit out of control.
Yeah. So, as in banished, I take it.
What? Say that again.
Banished.
Oh, banished.
Yeah.
I assume so. I literally don't know. All I've been hearing is just whispers here and there. Of Slime Night's closed, so nobody's going out anymore. I've barely seen anyone. It's been a bit rough here. Don't know what's going to happen, really. So I'm kind of glad you're back. I'm hoping that maybe you could. You got some friends with like Ash knows some people in the FOA, don't they?
Yeah, there's. I'm going to be looking into a few things. Not for anybody in particular. No,
of course not. Yeah, I know you're not associated with any of those.
No.
I know that. It's just that it'd be good to have someone that we trust.
Well,
speaking up for us.
We've got to have a.
Well, I say us. I mean, I'm fine, but
but we've got to have
friends.
I definitely want to have a word with the some people in the FOA.
Anyway, I'll let you guys catch up. But I'm going to lock up, and I'll catch you. I'll catch you tomorrow if you're around.
Yeah. No.
And
Renee, listen. Thank you again, and
don't worry about it, man. Don't worry about it. It's all good.
Yeah.
She claps you on the back and grabs her bag and sort of slings it over her shoulder. Just gives the place a once through. Doesn't set the alarm, but kind of points to it. To you to kind of set the alarm before she goes, and then she just shuts the door and locks it behind her, knowing that you have a key.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I will set the alarm just for downstairs.
Okay. Yep. You set the alarm, and then you head up upstairs. So you guys are all now in this space. You can see that Raphy uses this as a quite often as a place to host groups for stuff as well, not just for like physical activity or anything, which is the gym downstairs. But it looks like maybe this is a place where some of the disenfranchised youths might come and hang out, so that they have a place to come to and a warm meal,
Yeah.
maybe, and something. So it's quite a space up
Yeah.
here.
All right. First things first. Who wants a drink? Tea, coffee. I got snacks.
Have you got any whiskey?
Yeah. I'll get the good stuff for you. Anyone else?
Thank you.
Sorry, out of character. What time of night is it?
So where were we?
shutting up, so I'm
Actually,
assuming-
no, it's morning. No, I apologise. It is the middle of the day. So I think maybe then Renee
No.
had just shut down for the afternoon.
Yeah.
For some reason, it's not open this afternoon. It's because you
She's
guys
got
had
doctor's
slept
appointment.
through to about. Yeah, she's got a doctor's appointment. You guys had slept through to about 12 to make sure that the wizard had his spells, and everyone obviously had their abilities and whatnot, and then made their way over to here. So I'd say actually closer to 2 o'clock for traffic reasons and whatnot. So it's 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
And what day of the week is it?
Don't ask me things like that.
It's
It's a Wednesday. There you go.
It's a weekday rather than a weekend. It's the key thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
I take Wednesdays off.
I think.
Yeah.
Raphy, I think
Half
we
day
need.
Wednesday.
I think we need some proper food. So,
Yes, proper food.
yeah.
I've got me food. I'll have
Wednesday.
me food when a whiskey turns up.
Well, so I am
Oh,
getting
I'll
out
tell
my
you what.
phone, getting on.
No. Don't worry about it. I'll whip something up. It's all good. And I'm going to start getting bits out to make a bit.
There are apps you can just order food on.
Yeah, but it's fast food. Trust me, you'll like paella. Fantastic. You're going to like paella. And start cooking.
You can live on fast food, but it tastes like shit.
Yeah. So
Right. Right.
I'm going to start cooking a big pan of paella.
Yeah.
As
Actually, yeah,
Darrell
Lucky-
looks really sadly at this pizza menu.
yeah.
He'll order a pizza anyway.
I'll toss Hendrix Mars bar.
Hey.
Actually,
Conditioning him.
Cadman,
Training.
what can you eat?
Anything?
Anything? Fantastic. So no special diet for you. Great.
Probably not too greasy. It doesn't agree with me.
Yeah, no problem. Just start making a chicken paella.
Maybe the trouble. There's a good restaurant in Hempstead Heath I know of.
Maybe we'll go out for a meal once this is all done. This way we can still chat completely freely and eat. Yeah, don't worry. It'll take me about half an hour.
All right.
Okay.
Raphy. Sorry, go on.
Quick question, Tom.
Yeah.
In your van, was there any brochures for your shop or
Yes.
leaflets?
A couple of flyers.
Did they have any stock photos? Did they have pictures and stuff like that of people?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When I got out of your van, I looked like just
Is
a
that who you
random
look
one.
like now?
Okay, no worries.
Apart from my holding a broom.
No.
What
it
do
won't
you
be-
look like again?
Yeah.
Sorry, everything
Yeah.
cut out
Yeah.
for me.
No, it won't be a broom. It'll be one of the musical instruments, which is basically a big long stick with a string and a gourd on the bottom.
Yep, one of those.
Yeah.
What do you look like, Kyle?
I look like one of his students holding the
Okay.
musical instrument he just described.
Yeah.
Cool. I look generic student. Cool. Yeah, everything cut out for me for a second.
I think you can order alcohol in Uber Eats, so I'm going to order.
I'm going to point to the globe that's in the corner and say, that's where the whiskey and all the other brandies and everything is. And it is the good stuff. I do have taste.
Okay, have you got some beer? It's a bit early for spirits.
I'll
I think.
head over to this globe and have a look and see what's there.
Sure. Do you want, what do you want? Do you want an IPA, an ale? Do you want
I'll
a
find
lager?
something. I'll find something.
There is
Give me
like
decent water.
What's that?
have you got any
Give me
water?
decent water.
Yeah, I've got, again, don't worry, I've got the good stuff. There's a proper filter in the filter
And I
water in
don't
the.
filter. I want like proper water.
Stuff
Like
full of minerals.
rainwater.
Which one from the?
Mineral.
I've got water from the tap. I've got
Well,
filtered
stuff out of it. That's no good. You want all the stuff in it. That makes it what makes it good.
My God.
I've got a water butt on the just outside the stairs that goes up.
It's stagnant water.
In that case, no. I don't have a running stream. Sorry. Don't know.
Apologies, we don't have a running stream.
Yeah.
Oh dear. Right,
I'll take that water.
Raphy starts cooking. You
Yeah.
all manage to get your appropriate is a strong word, but you get the drinks that you want closest to.
Yeah.
And you can all gather around in sort of one of the seating areas and do what you need to do, chat about and plan.
So I think we were looking into this fiend problem. Is that right? Baron is off there. Okay, Darrell.
He's in the loo.
He's in the loo. Yeah. Darrell. Who was your contact who was saying about looking into this thing?
It's my boss. It's Mortimer Fitzwarren.
And was he Shield or?
Yeah.
Okay. So you can find out what problems they've dealt with and where they are in the city.
I could try. I'm not sure if he's. I'll probably better off talking to Spence Clemens to get the detail. Mortimer's high enough up the tree that he probably doesn't get the detail. He just gets the problems.
Right. Okay. It'd be worth having a look at getting those just to find out whereabouts in the city, like the hotspots and that are, and if they've got any information.
I did sort of ask that question. There wasn't. It's just a general unrest. You got to remember, as you pointed out, the Shield haven't come in here as a sort of delicate scalpel to deal with the problem. They come down as is their want, heavy, to make a point and to make a statement. So I don't know how much. I think we are the investigation. There's not been any of that done yet. All they've done is enforce at the moment. So
what specifically?
What's causing the uprising in the fiend activity, specifically round, I guess, sort of the general unrest, and also the assassination of the council member. Was that implicated as fiends as well, or?
Well, that's what character I was driving at. So, what I've got that note down: Council of the Night murdered, already being investigated.
Right. In which case, our aim isn't that. It's what's. There's been a general upsurge in unrest.
Sorry to interrupt a sec, Ian. B, just to be clear, the councillor who was murdered, that was probably in Birmingham, wasn't it? Because that's where all the council stuff is based.
Actually, not necessarily, but not in London. Otherwise, they would have told you. So, because mages can literally zip in from wherever.
Okay.
She could have been. You actually don't know the nature of how she was killed, what happened, when it happened, where it happened, whatnot. You imagine that if it had been in London, that definitely would have been a little bit more on the. They would have explained that to you, perhaps a little bit of, hey, there's an investigation going on at the moment. You know that the investigation is going on from the end of this councillor. So they're investigating the scene and around her and maybe what's caused this or whatever, but they actually don't know who did it. Okay. They have no leads. The only thing they suspect is that it might have a link to either the Fae from the attack on the ICC a few months ago with the hounds and whatnot, or fiends because the fiend activity is going mental over here. Okay. You guys, as Ian has rightly pointed out, are the investigation team. They don't have anyone on the ground. They don't have anyone with links specifically that will talk to them. And you guys are not S.H.I.E.L.D., essentially. there are maybe some rules that they have to stick to that you guys don't have to. So asking for auxiliary agents, essentially, to do that on their behalf is kind of their way of loopholing it.
Okay.
Sorry, Ian was halfway through saying. Do you want...
Yeah.
Was I?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. So yeah, that's we sort of endgamed it there. Yeah, this is what we're here to do. I don't know that there's any information yet because we haven't gathered it.
Okay. So
I thought we were supposed to be getting ourselves into one of these gangs to find out, to get some inside scoop on it, so to speak.
well, I
I
know
thought that was the idea.
I know the FOA are headed up by a fiend who goes by the moniker Six. No idea why. But he's like a big
He's a
deal.
fiend called Monica. That's just
Monica 6. Yeah.
Monica Six, yeah, Monica Six. Sure, I wouldn't call them Monica Six. I just call them Six. They may get offended, but if you call them
use
Monica,
their first name. Yeah,
yeah, exactly.
Fair
You
enough.
know, so
Don't
it's a
tend to
respect
use
thing.
Their names, they tend to hide them because they have power.
Yeah. So yeah, the FOA are headed up by a fiend called Six, who is like a big deal within London. There's some rumors that they got some sort of deal with the Mage's Council to be able to be in London, but I don't know what it was. But
Can I also ask? I'm a bit confused. Don't you know? The fiends. I thought somebody said the other day that actual fiends aren't allowed to cross the barriers. So when we say fiend activity, we're not talking about actual fiends in London, are we? We're talking about people who work for the fiends.
yeah,
The fiends from the other side tell them what to do. Is that right?
I think so. There is a specific
Because
barrier
you said about
around
6
London,
with a fiend.
but no, Six. This is where the rumor is that Six is an actual fiend, and they had a
Okay.
deal with the Mages Council to be allowed into London. That's the rumor.
Right.
They've
right.
definitely it's definitely set up like that. Whether it's true or not, I don't know.
But
But they are a big name.
when we're investigating this fiend activity, we're not talking about actual fiends in London, apart from this 6 fella, maybe.
Well, I would.
But we were interested because of whatever killed the Guardian Central fella. We thought that was fiends, and we saw fiends at Tingy's house, didn't we?
Or Jin. We thought it might be Jin as well.
Yeah. So
But Jinn are fiends, aren't they? Jinn are
Yes.
just
Jinn are
another,
fiends.
True.
yeah,
just
they're
another name for
type of fiend, yeah.
fiends.
Well, I know that the FOA got a large majority of tieflings in there, and if the name is anything to go by, the Highgate Hellspawn are going to have a fair amount of fiends.
It's in the name.
The other two names that we discussed was the Cricklewood Mob, which I have no idea about, and the
Sounds like
Scarridge
organised
Crew.
crime.
Yeah, but we've also got the Scarridge Crew, but they're friends of yours, Hendrix.
yeah.
So it's not likely to be anything to do with them. But they're on the gang scene, so they may have more information.
I can go and talk to them, sure.
Excellent. But I want to, I want to find out some more about the FOA as well, because one of my students, Ozzy, seems to have fallen in with the FOA, and he's just up and disappeared. It was just before we left for Care City, so it's been over a week now.
And they kidnapped him?
Sorry?
Think they kidnapped him? Or brainwashed him?
I think he's fallen in with them, so like a temptation brainwashing thing. From what Renee was saying, is that he turned up here with a couple of members of the FOA. So I know Ash will be able to tell us something as well, because Ash used to run Slimelight, and that's like a neutral safe space thing. But then they had some fiends kicking off in Slimelight, and they've closed it for now. So, and Ash isn't there anymore. Ash is nipped off somewhere safe. Still in London, but they're somewhere safe.
They sent you an address which is too far away.
Yeah.
Because nothing's far away in London.
Yeah.
I can walk there.
Yeah. So
okay.
It depends which way we want to go first. I mean, do we want to? Our best two leads that I can see are Ash and the Scarridge crew. So it depends on how we want to do it. Do we want to go mob-handed to these, or do we want to go, split up, and Hendrix and some people go and see the Scarridge, me and some people go and see Ash?
Right. You were flagging before that some of us may have connections that mean we are problematic to places. Are you still concerned about
that? From what we discussed, I have less concerns. Yeah. But I would prefer those who haven't got direct links with the Mages Council, like yourself and Darrell, don't meet Ash at first. I mean, they're okay to meet you, but there may be some things that they don't want to get back to the Mages Council, etc., etc.
Just to remind you, I have done work with the Ashcroft family, but that's paid work, and I'm not being paid by them at the present moment. So,
yeah,
anything said to me will stick with me.
Okay.
All right. So where do you choose to go? Do you split up? Do you stay together? What is plans?
Would it be best if Darrell and I went with Hendrix, and the other three of you went? We went to see the Scarridge crew, and Raphy, you took Liam and Cadman and go and see this Ash person.
Hendrix, what are your folks like? Would they be skittish around 6 of us turning up, or would they be okay?
I think they're going to be distrustful of anyone over 4 feet tall, so it ain't really going to matter. But you can all come if you like.
You want to stick mob-handed, do you?
I don't mind either way. They'll talk to me, and I don't know what they'll do to you lot, but that's not really my problem.
Dinner. Right. So
in that case, splitting up would save time, but also if anything kicks off, we're going to have to run potentially. So I'm easy either way. Yeah. Just know there are a couple of reservations from Ash, but that's they're willing to meet you guys.
What sort of food does Ash have?
If we were meeting them in Slimelight, you could get pretty much whatever you wanted. Because it's a club, so we'd have all the greasy burgers and dogs and dirty fries and things like that. So it would be a dog's dream.
I know you're going to pick up on that.
I might get insulted.
No. Hot dogs, sausages in a bun.
Oh, well.
You guys have this conversation whilst you decide that I think from what I'm hearing, you're going as a group. Yep.
Yeah.
And
So
yeah, go on.
I was going to say, do we want to go to see Ash first, or do you want to go and see the Scarage crew first?
Well, it's middle of the afternoon. If this Ash guy hangs around in a club, would we be better off going to the Scarage crew now and then?
Well, Ash has closed Slime Lights
Okay.
because of the trouble that happened there.
Okay.
So Slime Light is currently closed, and they aren't too far from us.
Okay.
Yeah.
You go there.
But I don't.
Question for Ben: whereabouts in London do you think? And I might have to veto it depending on the thingy. But can you give me a position in London where the Scars Ridge crew would be? If you've got any
East London
preferences. East. Let me just. Where am I?
Probably like Barking or Dagenham.
Oh, Dagenham. Dagenham.
Dagenham. We're going to Nam.
Nah. Where is Dagenham? Oh, that's quite a bit of. Oh no, that's perfect. Yes. Absolutely fine.
Okay.
Doesn't interfere with anybody else's territory. We're all good. You can actually, from where you guys are, go to Ash along the way. It would make sense. So Ash first and then the Scars Ridge. In terms of travel. Yep.
Do
Does that make sense? If everybody's happy with that. So Ash is more central at the moment. They've got they're renting out a townhouse with a couple of their girls, and they're just sort of holed up for the moment until everything. They've gone to the pub for everything to blow over.
How are we travelling? Is your van going to be big enough for the 6 of us?
Oh yes, they're trying. If we get stopped by the police, then I don't have seats for everybody. That could be an issue, but it's London. We can get the tube. You know, it's public transport.
I think
we can get
possibly having our own transport in case we need to get somewhere. Actually, no, we'll sort that out if there's a problem.
What's wrong with public transport? I use it all the time.
Yeah, exactly. Who drives in central London?
Who
Tourists.
drives? Period. You bunch of muppets paying petrol.
Oh,
Who's got opposable thumbs to be able to drive?
I think.
What's the point of driving? You're only going to crash.
The last time I went on the underground, I think dogs had to be on leads.
Do you even remember what an underground
is? Or in a bag.
Yeah.
You seem to forget a lot.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Exactly.
Very good. Very good. Very good. Okay.
Hendrix, you okay with going on the lead for a bit?
We'll see.
Okay, cool. Only whilst we're on the underground.
I'll make sure you don't get lost. Don't worry.
Okay, thank you very much. Make sure we take the right path in the labyrinth of tunnels underneath London.
Sure.
Not
like there's a big multicolored map or anything that helps you get around.
Exactly.
Raphy, are you making any phone calls or checking anything before you leave, or are you just putting in the thing into Google Maps and?
No, I'm gonna give Ash a quick bell.
Say again. Sorry, you cut out.
I'm going to give Ash a quick bell on their new number.
Okay, so they pick up. If it's just to say,
yeah,
we'll be there.
Yeah,
you do that. It's all good. You let them know. They were sort of like, all right, darling, we'll see you soon. I'll put a kettle on. And you've got the address. So, assumedly, you're taking public transport.
Yeah.
By the sounds of it. You guys all start to head over there. Is there anything that you guys are particularly taking or anything like that you're preparing, or are you just going to go over and see Ash, which is absolutely valid and fine? I'm just double checking now.
I'm in my normal get-up, so sort of jeans, t-shirt, long coat. I've got a pistol in an underarm holster and a knife sort of at a belt, but my sword, my shield, all that sort of stuff is inside the coat in pockets.
Is the knife at the belt something that is registered with the Mages Council and hidden by the Daze, or is this something like you're openly carrying or perhaps
I think
hidden?
we did talk about this before, and I can't remember what I said. I've got a feeling certainly the knife isn't, but the pistol probably is.
Yes. You would certainly be caught if you were walking around openly carrying a firearm.
Well, it's in an underarm holster,
sure.
so it's sort of.
If
Not
it's
as obvious.
hidden, then that's fine. Like you could probably get away with
Yeah,
it.
it's an underarm holster.
Everyone
under a coat.
else. So I believe like Liam has his
Bow.
bow, but you could all see the effects of the Daze
Yeah, it
sort
is
of shimmering around
it is
it.
a registered item, and I carry it everywhere.
It is.
Yeah.
And similar thing with Darrell with your staff, I think, as well, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It looks like a one of those plan tubes on a strap on his back.
There you go. And Kyle's there. Cadman doesn't seem to need any sort of registered item on account that he makes his objects, his Morning Star, look like an object. With this ability that he has of being able to disguise himself. So off you go, a rather varied bunch of people, 6 guys and a dog, heading off onto the tubes.
Make sure I have cash so I can actually get tickets for everybody who don't have zone 1 passes. In fact, I'll get an all-day, all-zone pass for everyone.
Costs for this is negligible. I'm not going to cost you for fucking travel. You all have, if you don't have the money, Raphy spots you for it, sort of thing. And you head over to the centre of London. I'm not going to give you guys an address because I wouldn't even know where to start, and I don't want to accidentally say a street that doesn't have housing on it or something like that. So somewhere in the middle-ish of London, you find yourself in a neighbourhood of very fancy-looking houses, townhouses that are obviously quite old but very well kept. The fact that Ash could rent here means that they obviously have money, or at least are able to accumulate money. You come up to a door. This is where they live, and as you get to it, it's opened by a young woman who sort of goes and throws her arms around Raphy, seeing she'd obviously been waiting for him by the door. She hugs you. For those of you that can see, obviously everybody that can see past the Daze, she has 2 small horns on her head, 2 little ones. This is Mila. And she sort of goes, I missed you. Where have you been?
I missed you too, darling. How are you? Big hugs back. Kiss.
It's been horrible. Come in. Ash is upstairs.
Fantastic.
And you all get led into this very, very nice, surprisingly large building. Again, everything's really well kept inside. It's very there's like period features everywhere, and there's not a single sight of cheap furniture in this place. It's not gaudy, but it's just it's money. It screams money. And you guys get led up to the first floor, I should say, which has the living space in it and the thing. And as you come up, you are greeted by 2 more women. One, both all the women look somewhere between like their 22nd to 27th ish birthday, somewhere in that vague range. Mila has the tiny horns. There is a young girl there with another set of horns that are much bigger, and then there's one of the last female in the room is a girl with a set of larger wings. You guys know what tieflings look like. Most of you, I don't think there's a single person here that doesn't know what a tiefling look like, because you're all sort of well adjusted to the days and whatnot. These are definitely tieflings.
Give each
And
of
then
them
lastly,
I want to give each of them a big hug and a kiss.
the Raphy embraces them, and they sort of like greet you all like very warmly, and sort of like, hey, come in, and do you want a cup of tea, those sort of things. Just in the kitchen, open kitchen space adjacent to this living area, you see a person, non-binary, so they use they them pronouns, who stands sort of like with one hand on a hip, waiting for Raphy to finish doing his introductions and saying hi and everything like that. And this is a picture of Ash. So show to everyone. Probably not as fancily dressed as this at the moment. More like they're in a very fashionable cardigan and t-shirt with some tailored trousers, and they've got a tail with a small forked bit at the end. Again, sort of this tiefling-ish vibe about them. Their eyes are cat-like as well. As soon as Raphy makes himself available, they sort of come over to you, drape themselves over, sort of like, darling, it's so good to see you. Kiss, 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 kiss.
Kiss, kiss, kiss. Oh, I've missed you so much. I'm so sorry it took so long.
It's fine, darling. It's fine. It's been a nightmare over here. But first, introduce me to your friends.
Sure. So, starting here, we have Liam. He's a bit of a pessimist, but solid. This is
before you finish. Yeah. As they've taken a look around, they go to say hello to Liam, and they stop. And they look at Baron. And they go, Baron, what are you doing here?
You two know each other?
Yes, he came in quite a number of years ago to Slimelight. He was looking for an elf. And then they look at Darrell and go, you found him then? Is this it? Is this the person you were looking for? I'm sorry, am I speaking French?
I was to reply in French. It wouldn't matter if you were. I don't think that's the elf that.
Do you want a drink? And they turn around and sort of start making a few sort of cocktails up, and they go, sorry about that. I didn't mean to interrupt your introductions there, Raphy. Yeah. I didn't know you knew Baron.
I didn't know you knew Baron.
I mean, a small world. Roughly years ago. Do you not remember, Baron?
My apologies, but no. When was this?
Oh, quite a few years ago now. I'd say.
What was the name of the elf I was looking for?
2008. Hang on. They kind of genuinely stop what they're doing, and are sort of like some of the Mila and Phoebe and the I've forgotten her other name, but they start sort of like pottering around making refreshments for people if they want them. In fact, actually, Mila doesn't do that. She's all over Hendrix. She's like, and of course, yeah. You get good head scratches and everything like that. She's giving sort of yeah.
So Mila, that's Hendrix. Hendrix. That's Hendrix, Mila. Okay.
Yep.
You got to
I
watch
think
out
his
for
name
Hendrix.
was like Jack or James or John or something. And you said that you needed
Definitely
to find
Hendrix.
him because it was something important, and the picture. I couldn't help you at the time. I felt very bad. I'm afraid. But is this not who you were looking for then?
No, I don't think it was. I think it was. Oh. He starts searching through his phone.
Yeah.
So
J
what-
names.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Whilst he's doing that, this is Darrell.
Oh, hi, Darrell.
Darrell is mage extraordinaire who actually likes to get into the thick of it, unlike a lot of
Okay.
mages.
Oh, mate. So full wizard.
Yes.
Right. Okay.
This is Cadman. He's solid.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's a strange descriptor, my love, but yes.
There's a
thank-
reason for
Hello,
that.
Cadman, who's solid.
I'll explain later on, unless he wishes
Okay.
to. And this is Hendrix. And as you probably
I'm
heard,
less solid.
yeah, he's less solid.
It's like, you say that.
Yeah.
Mila's like, it just carries on.
Speaking of that, I lean over.
Nice to
and
meet you,
cast Death Ward
Hendrix.
on
Nice to meet
Hendrix.
you too.
Would you say Kyle? Or do you keep catching?
Speaking of less solid, I lean over and cast Death Ward on Hendrix.
What's that do?
The first time you fall to 0 hit points, you pop up with 1.
Oh,
It
Thank you very
protects you
much.
from being killed.
I
Thanks.
reckon.
Who's going to kill me?
I recognise that spell and look at Hendrix. Look at Cadman. It's like, what do you know that I don't?
Yeah. Wait, what the fuck's going on?
Well, he is the best
Who's
paladin.
planning to kill the dog? I'm very worried.
Sorry. As the introduction to be finished, so Baron finishes scrolling through his phone and turns back to Ash and says, was it John Shepperson?
It? Yeah, you were looking for him about 2007, 2008, something like that. You needed to something important, and you knew that he'd been in the London area or something. It was the last I heard of you. You were for about 2 or 3 days. You were staying at the hotel.
Okay. Baron
Did you lose your memory?
It appears so, yes.
Oh dear. I'm sorry I can't be any more help to you. I don't think.
No, that's fine. I've got a number here, but yeah, I'll don't worry. Thank you. And he goes and
problem.
sits to one side for the moment, staring at his phone.
Yeah.
Bea, do you think that's enough for memories to start returning of who John is?
I think I'm going to need to make history checks to kind of see
check.
how much you get back. This isn't to say that you won't unless you roll a nat 1. Watch him now.
Ooh.
Oh, it's. So, a 9, it takes you some time.
Okay.
And I think for you, you're kind of thinking elves. I only know currently one elf, and he's half an elf, and he's sitting across the room. And it's really bothering you. It does come to you, but I think it's going to come to you a little bit later on in the day.
That's fine. Absolutely
So for now, for now, it's something that's niggling at the back of your mind, and you're like, I know there was an elf. There was an elf. A person that's like a friend of mine, and I need to.
Actually,
Who is he?
I'm going to text. Hi there. Do we need to catch up? Question mark.
Yeah, perfect. Perfect. We'll leave it there for now, but you've sent that text and it goes through. Okay.
So we're
Um,
not in a place that's obscuring technology.
You
Okay.
seem to be. You see in this room around you guys. There's things like Wi-Fi. There's the Wi-Fi hub and laptops and things like that. They don't seem to be living. You see the days working around them to hide the certain features, like Ash's tail. I think it's Phoebe's wings and Mila's and truly
Fiona.
forgotten the other Fiona's
Fiona.
horns. But this place isn't like Renwick's place, and often lower so mages tend to have all the money to kind of and influence to have all these special mage crafted magical items and houses and stuff like that. This is the reality of a richer just supernatural being slash person that lives amongst humans. So although they have things to hide themselves, they just they live like a human essentially. Yeah. So Ash kind of makes himself a cup of tea and sits down next to Raphy and kind of sort of sits there holding Raphy's hand, but sort of chats with you guys. What is it that you're there to ask for these girls? Because the girls are there as well, and they can answer any questions. So
So
and listen to anybody. It's not just Tom, obviously. Yeah.
So what happened at Slimelights?
So obviously, after you came round and I showed you that footage of the FOA being attacked by the Hellspawns, if you remember, the Hellspawns are the ones that had the red balaclavas on. Sort of like blood red balaclavas that they slip on over their head and they attacked, and that was that illusory capture, like a CCTV, but magical CCTV, that showed the moment that a bunch of gang members that were in the club just chilling were attacked by Highgate Hellspawn members, but were all balaclavaed up. And it all kicked off, which obviously for Slimelight is a big no-no and just doesn't happen. It's their Elysium. It's a place where it is it is not even an unspoken rule. It's fully a spoken rule. You don't start shit in certain places. This is one of those places. The hotel's quite similar, but more for mages and things like that. So they had shown you the footage of Ozzy being part of that initial encounter. Ozzy had been injured because obviously he was on the FOA side of business, but had got away but had also been involved in the fight that ensued after they'd been jumped. And then since then, nobody had been able to get hold of him. Ash explains that the club had 2 more incidences since then. Another smaller one similar to the first, where this time it was the other way round. The FOA attacked the Highgate Hellspawns, sort of like a tit for tat sort of thing. And then there was an incident that it wasn't even caught on this magical CCTV, because Ash actually says, I don't speak to Six, not for a very, very long time. I don't make any of my business about his stuff. We're not on speaking terms. But after the second attack, I went and spoke with Jessica, which is his second in command, and I told her that he needs to get his shit under control because it's starting to affect my business. And if we're gonna play those games, I was gonna start retracting my my offer for a safe space for them. After that conversation with Jessica, Ash explains that there was a third and final encounter, which was very confusing. They can't tell you at all who it was. They just know it's fiendish in nature. Like, it was the warlocks and the tieflings of one or the other, or even both of the gangs. Something happened, but they directly attacked Slime Light, not each other. They made they trashed the place. They started a fire in one of the bathrooms, so that the whole building started to go up and everything. The magical devices to record, like Ash had got before, had been disabled, so that it was like they knew how to target them. And I think that's kind of all they know, is that they were just the whole place was trashed, and because it had spilled out from the people that were inside at the time, because of the fire, because of the everything that was going on, and spells were being thrown about, and magical effects and things. People started to spill out into the roads, into the street, and that's when the Order of the Shield had turned up and started knocking some heads on and banishing people straight out of thing. And they didn't, obviously, for the ones that belonged on this plane of existence, for mostly tieflings, kind of came back. There were a couple that didn't, which suggests that there were some actual fiends out and about.
Oh,
Or rather, I should say, the bodies of the person came back, but empty, because obviously the fiends need a body to host. So when they're banished, the body goes there and then comes back without the fiend inside, almost. That's what happened. They hadn't seen Ozzy since the first incident, but I think, yeah. Sorry, I'm just reading my notes. They know that. So this is where Mila and Phoebe and Thingy sort of pitch in and kind of say a couple of bits. The gang stuff didn't seem to be just affecting fiends at this point. It then started to spill out into the Cricklewood mob. Stuff started to hit off there.
What do you mean stuff? Like fights and things?
Yes, so in the street, obviously, because the Daze hides some of us, because the council are aware that we're here and that we're supposed to be here. We've sought permission to be here. Some of the Fae that have come over from Fairy don't always let the Mages Council know that they're here. So they go out and people see them, and luckily, most of them think they're just eccentric cosplayers, but sometimes when they're throwing spells around and somebody's got their mobile phone out, it causes a big problem, I imagine, for the Mages Council. I'm not excusing them. Personally, I think that they're rest of assholes. Anyway, but the point is that Tom, I think you're muted.
no, I just didn't say anything.
Oh, I
I
thought
was
you
just
said
nodding in agreement, sir.
okay, yeah, I thought you said something. They were just attacking each other with spells. I mean, maybe not broadly open, like in the middle of the street and whatnot, but like in public areas, like clubs, and there was a place near Hampstead Heath that got hit. I think earlier this morning. Something happened over that way. I have no idea why.
What got hit over there?
I don't know, Lovey. I think they're building a new restaurant or something for something over there. I have a feeling that it's it was owned by someone
Is it
to
called
do with.
Antonio's?
Yeah, I think Antonio. Antonio's had something to do with it. Yeah, but obviously Antonio's is only down the road from it. But that it was a big construction site. They were in talks with somebody about developing a bigger restaurant. But I mean, I don't know anything more than that. And there was a big that was just this morning. A big something went on. I don't know whether the Order of the Shield got wind of that just yet, but it
And
it
spells
spread
were
like
being
wildfire.
spells were being thrown at
Spells,
that point.
yeah. Well, I'm assuming so. I don't really know much what else, but what happened in that particular state. But I know that a group from the Order of the Shield had to do a mass memory sort of reset, whatever it is that they do for people when the Muggles or the normies see stuff they're not supposed to. So, yeah, it's a mess, and I don't know when things are going to get back to normal. And frankly, some of us are scared because we can't go out without there being either a gang or some kind of Order of the Shield enforcer around, accusing us of being part of it all, and they don't stop to listen. So we've been holed up here watching Scrubs for the past 5 days.
To be fair, that's good, but you should go on to Brooklyn Nine-Nine afterwards.
Oh, we've already watched that. It's great.
No, that's fair.
Baron looks very confused.
Should be on a T-shirt for Baron. Baron looks confused.
I'll actually put my arm around Ash and say, "It's okay. Listen, we're sort of looking into it, like unofficial, official type thing."
What you? I know you said some. Not that I've got anything
No.
against you lot, but just
none.
I mean,
none
you've sat down and
Yeah.
listened to what I have to say, so you're all good in my books.
Yeah, none of us are employed by the Mages Council directly.
Right.
Yeah.
I just want to know that things are going to go back to normal. I don't know.
How long is the club going to take to rebuild? I mean, how bad was the damage?
To the tune of about 80,000.
Oh, that's not too bad.
It's not too bad, but it's enough.
Yeah.
And it's more the time it's gonna take.
Yeah.
Liam's looking around for something to drink.
Yeah. Hendrik says, "Did you say tuna?"
No.
Oh, that's a shame.
I throw another Mars bar.
Oh,
make you roll. Stop feeding the dog chocolate.
He's not
Bad
a dog.
Okay. Liam, Phoebe is like at this like little kitchenette bit, which just has loads of bottles and shit of it. You can see that it's like bottles that you usually find in a bar where they obviously half empty and stuff like that. They've just harvested the stuff from the bar and brought it to their house for the time being. So she's sort of like, "Do you want to make something?
Do you have any Irish whiskey in there?"
Let's have a look." And she starts sort of picking up bottles and having a look. She goes, "Got an Irish cream."
Oh Jesus! No, thank you.
So you went high pitched and your mic isn't picking you up then, B.
Oh, was it not? I said
No.
I said shit, what did I say? Shit. Oh, my brain. Something about, did you want a Bailey's? I think it was something.
Have you got any proper Irish whiskey?
I'll probably find you a Scotch.
There's a bottle of Jameson's just at the back. The green bottle right at the back.
So she'll pour you something. She'll give you the bottle so you can pour yourself it, but like, because she's not like barmaid or anything like that.
Start drinking from the bottle.
Christ. You can make me a Constitution saving throw. Jesus. See how drunk you get. So they like explained that they go on to explain a couple of incidences where people have fucking hell, Liam. Okay, we'll come back to that.
You get a +4.
What?
He gets a +4.
It's a 1 though. It's
a
a
nat
one.
one.
It's a nat 1.
It's a nat 1. I don't care what you fucking add to it. You can add a +20. It's a nat 1.
Has
Okay.
he just vomited all over Ash?
He will do.
He
We'll get
better
there.
not do.
It'd be sort of like, where's your bar? So, yeah, between them,
Because
they
he didn't
explained
notice the cigarette end that was floating around in it and swallow that.
Ben, get out of here. You disgust me. It's going to be sick. They explain the series of incidences. You can see there's a couple of newspapers that they have just by their post areas, although they show you. Even the newspapers are recording weird activity, but not like they're not framing it like weird activity. They're framing it like youthful
youth
gang
gangs
stuff.
kicking off and
Yeah. Which
And what
actually
are the police doing about it?
exactly, yeah. You know that there are in fact I think you and Darrell will probably know, maybe Baron as well, know that there are certain people, especially in like the journalism business, that actually know of the days that will push it onto like different things, like a different agenda to kind of cover things up, like hiding it. So anything that comes out like saw a flying man in the sky, and it's sort of like drunk man records he, saw flying saucer or some shit. To kind of discredit a lot of actual sightings and things like that. So yeah, they kind of come to the end of that. From everything that they can tell you at the moment. Yeah, I think all they give you the address of this, or the address, the road where they heard that this big gang meet had happened. Again, they don't know whether magic was used, or they don't know much about it. All they know is that there was something big happened and everyone's avoiding the area because they don't want to be associated with it.
That's the Hampstead Heath incident?
It's a road in Hampstead Heath somewhere. Yeah. And as they say it, Kyle, you do recognise the name of the road. All right, so... And, yeah.
Really think we can investigate that.
So that needs to be... So that's an important bit then.
Yes.
You know something there, Cadman?
There's a shelter for my faith there.
Oh, okay. What? Church, synagogue, mosque? I have no idea.
Well, pagan. There's a spiritual site there.
Okay. On that road where it all kicked off?
Yes.
Oh.
If they're hitting circle spirits, that'll be a hit there.
There's a circle there.
Quite possibly used to be. There's a spirit there. So there's one in the area, yes.
I don't know if it's relevant, says Baron looking on his phone, but Hampstead Heath is just about due east, adjacent to Cricklewood, and there's this gang called the Cricklewood Mob.
I mean, I think this is Mila. She pipes up and she says, I think Hampstead Heath is almost like on the border of all of their territories.
Oh.
The Highgate Hellspawn and the FOA often fight along that area because that's like contested borders and whatnot. I know Cricklewood is close and the Scars Ridge are a little bit further east to that, but yeah, there's always. I mean, there's not out and out gang fights about it, but there's always signs like graffiti and shit,
So
arguments,
okay.
you know.
So Highgate is sort of the western side of Hampstead Heath. Highgate's to the eastern side of Hampstead Heath. Cricklewood's to the west. Where's this FOA gang's territory?
Well, they've got most of they're kind of like they've got lots of different places. I think they were like here first or something. They got most of central London.
So the southern end. Okay.
Yeah, southern area. Camden, that sort of stuff. I know they're going to Islington quite a bit. So you get the idea that it's sort of like south of Hampstead Heath downwards sort of thing.
That makes sense.
You got Cricklewood to the west, as you
Who
say.
claims territory
Highgate.
to the north of the heath?
Did you say again?
Who claims territory north of the heath?
That's Highgate. Highgate have got like the north and west.
North and west.
Sorry, east.
Highgate is north and
North.
east. Cricklewood is west.
Cricklewood is west.
And
then
FOA is south.
Yeah.
Okay.
Hampstead's sort of in the middle of it. I don't know. It's just a big park. I don't get it, but like.
And Cadman, where's this refuge?
It's a family restaurant called Antonio's.
And
He gives an address, obviously, that's a road or adjacent to the like alongside what Hampstead the large
park.
green area basically. But it's one of those roads.
so is it north, south, east, or west though of Hampstead Heath?
It doesn't seem it's let's go. It's more south.
Okay, so it's
way more south.
Towards
more likely to be FOA territory.
Okay. That's what I was trying to get my head around.
Yeah. Yes. Sorry. Apologies.
Okay. Well, listen, Ash, we're gonna have a look into this thing. We're gonna try and chivvy along like a resolution to it. Obviously, it coincides with something that Cadman knows as well. So you've got us looking out for you.
Oh, I appreciate that, my love. If there's anything we can help you with, I don't really know much. I mean, I can start calling out to people, maybe make your jobs a little easier, get you a couple of contacts. If you want to chat with people.
Well, I need to speak to somebody in the FOA because Ozzy was hanging around with them. If you go back to the footage from the first one, that's Ozzy, and point out who Ozzy is. He's one of my students. Yeah, right. So a little bit worried. So if you can arrange a meeting with somebody in the FOA for me at the very least, maybe me and my dog, because dog less threatening than
you and young Hendrix here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
I know a couple of people I can chat to. It probably won't be Jessica. She's
No.
too high up and doesn't
Yeah.
barely even wants to talk to me anymore. But it's fine. I know a guy. You might get on with him.
All right.
Anyway, uh, let me reach out to him first, see if he's available,
Yeah,
and then
of
I'll get
course.
back to you. But he'll definitely be in the know. He's got his fucking hands over everything the FOA is doing. So, and he's like Six's right hand man now.
Nice.
With the other side, the Highgate, I can tell you that the woman who runs that, her name's Invidia. She's a nasty piece of work. But she's got some people that I'm gonna write down her name in this. She employs her warlocks through a selection process of last man standing. Take 10 young kids, put them in a fighting ring, and the last one to leave she gives the spells to. So, and they work for her.
So she's powerful enough to be a patron.
Yeah. She's. I don't think she's on. I think she's. Any points. Sorry, they point below, as in hell.
Yeah.
She doesn't come up here. But she has her puppets up here. I don't know who the lieutenant is. I can find out for you though. But I know that my information usually comes from people that frequent my bar, or used to, I should say.
Yeah, of course.
And that's only going to be a certain type of people. Your best bet is to start asking people from. Did I hear you mention Scarsridge? The people from there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're like information traffickers. They know everything. Probably know more about me than I know about me.
Well,
If you know them, you'll know a way to get hold of them. But if you don't, I can only suggest talking to somebody who's not actually in the gang at all. Getting hold of them is the hardest thing. That's the problem.
yeah.
I
I can deal with
I
that.
know one guy.
Who do you
If
know?
you've got a way of doing it, love, kudos to you.
Who do you
But
know?
what?
Who do you know?
Who do I know? Let me think of his name now. Hang on. Bloody Ben.
Bloody Ben. I know him well.
Yeah, Bloody Ben. That's his
Yeah.
name. Goldstein. Hang on.
Oh, right. Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
But he's, as far as I know, he's not actually part of it. He's
yeah.
he just knows them.
He
So
knows me. Yeah.
and then the Cricklewood lot are difficult because they're a bit that they don't owe any allegiance to anyone. They're just agents of chaos. They just do what the fuck they like. I couldn't even tell you who's in charge of that fucking lot. I'm not sure they know who's in charge. It's just roaming gangs of thugs. A lot of them are just displaced and angry at the world. But I mean, you know, gangs how it is. Your more organised lot are the FOA and Highgate Hellspawns. They got their hands in a lot of businesses, and they do a lot of drug trafficking, that sort of stuff. That's all I can tell you, I'm afraid. I can get back to you with maybe the lieutenant of the Highgate Hellspawns and a contact to talk to from the FOA, if that's enough.
Uh,
And
Ash,
then, obviously, if you can.
as long as you are safe doing it.
Well, yeah, don't worry about me.
Of
They
course, I'm going
attacked
to
my
worry about you.
business. I know, darling. But they wouldn't dare attack me directly. They might attack my building, but none of them were brave enough to show their faces to me. So I'm fine. I will contact you. Keep your phone on you. But at this point, Liam, you feel the sudden urge to vomit.
Can I just point out that I've been drinking because he's got deathless nature and he doesn't eat, drink, or.
Oh shit! Yeah, so you
doesn't
don't
eat-
actually need to.
No, it's a remnant of remembering.
Oh,
so
it's just the
he's
actual
trying to get drunk, but he can't.
Oh, so you're not actually getting drunk? Yes. That's absolutely fine then. Yeah, no. You get to the end of the bottle, and there's no more to drink, and you are no more sober than you were before.
No
no
more drunk.
less sober, I should say.
Yeah, no more
you are
drunk.
not drunk. No, in fact, you can never get drunk.
Disappointingly. Exactly.
Even though you very
Try.
much try to.
Yeah.
That's your curse.
One of many.
All right.
I don't know. Does Liam see his pessimism as a curse or a gift?
Oh, that's a deep conversation for another time, Tom.
Okie dokie. So, you guys have the information you could possibly gather from here. Unless you have anything else that you wish to ask now.
I'd like to know, this place, this green area in the middle. What you know about that? Why? You said it's a bit strange that none of the gangs kind of push into it and everybody fights around it. It's a bit suspicious to me, don't you think, that all of this is going on and nobody tries to claim it, nobody tries to do anything with it?
I do think they do try to claim it. I think the thing that's unusual is that they are all trying to fight over it when there's nothing there.
Right.
It's the opposite, yeah. So
okay, so that's still
just
the same
big
point
green
though.
thing.
Same point though. Why are they all fighting over something when there's nothing there? There must be something there for them to fight over.
That's a very fair
Everybody
question.
that wants to can make a history check. Cadman, you can do so with advantage, but I think you already know what you know, sort of thing. But I could tell you more if you,
On form tonight. And those die rolls.
Yeah, oh bless you. I don't know if it's just taking a while to get through, or you still doing it, Carl?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Just trying to work out what button I set up for
advantage.
If Hendrix wants to roll, he can do, but obviously that's completely up to you. So Cadman, which I think is quite fitting. You know that there is a circle there somewhere around that area. You know what you know about that location in terms of what I've already given you. You also know that the circle spirits are currently apparently dormant. So salty. Are you rolling from Captain Salty's page? What the fuck?
No.
It's come up with
What
salty.
the hell?
But it's Ben
Captain
Hendricks
Samuelson.
says, and then it's
Yeah. How
he
weird
just
is
hasn't
that?
changed the name somewhere in the
Oh,
game.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
game, he's
That's
put
ran
very
it.
funny.
I ran it from
Past time.
Hendrix's
Yeah.
thingy.
That's so
That's
funny.
very weird.
You've got that name somewhere in your setup.
Yeah. Okay.
Not in the
Yeah.
character
No,
sheet.
it's just Cadman. You know that obviously there's so ley lines must run through there. It could be that it can't be anything to do with the Fae. In terms of usually in green areas, sometimes they're like glamoured away, or they have significance to the Fae because generally the Fae like all the green areas and being around that. It can't be that because obviously the Fae in these gangs still fight over the territory for it, and they would usually have a little bit more of a grasp on, hey, this is definitely our territory on account of it being Fae. Now fuck off. That's not the case. So the only thing you know of interest in this area is that circle spirit. So yeah. You guys go to
There's
head
ley
on.
lines there. No,
Sorry.
so
Before we leave, Darrell, say, yeah, I appreciate you're not overly fond of the involvement of the Order of the Shield, but my understanding is they pulled out most of their forces. They're stretched elsewhere with more stuff going on. So I think they've asked us to look into it. So we are the response.
Well, if it's you lot, then I'm quite happy with that personally. You look like
just be aware there isn't someone around the corner who might help out. They've moved their presence out, so
right. Well, I mean, I could look after myself. Obviously, the average Fae on the block is going to be a little bit more vulnerable, but I'll try do my best. I can always rent out a social space and make a little sanctuary for people that need it. Until this all blows over, and like I said, if I can help in any way, if you guys are the ones doing all the investigation, then yeah, I'm happy with that. You are, of course, free to leave. You have the information that you have. Where do you
Can
want to
I
go
ask
next?
Ash,
Yep.
in the sort of hustle and bustle of everyone getting ready to leave, not exactly privately, but just sort of without drawing too much attention, do you ever meet a guy by the name of John? He's a mute. Did he ever come to your club?
A mute. Well, I've met one mute, but I don't really know
Didn't know
his
his
name.
name.
Well, I knew a nickname, but it wasn't John. And he was Faye. I believe he hangs around the hotel a bit more now. I don't believe I have met anyone called John, I'm afraid. Not
That's all right.
how
Not
you're
with that,
describing
not
them.
with me,
Obviously,
no.
I've met plenty of Johns.
Yeah.
Not Addy. Sorry, they point to Baron and sort of like, not elf, right?
No.
No. Oh, all right. Okay. Well, I don't know. You lot seem to be looking for Johns all over the place. I mean, I know a lot of Johns, different kind of Johns, of course, but
yeah, not the sort where I'm looking
probably not the ones you're looking for, my love.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, and they give you a sort of a soft scratch on the head, and
I lean into it.
Yeah, you can go where you wish. Where is it that you would like to head first?
So I just want to do one quick thing. As I'm leaving, I give Ashley a quick kiss, say we're off. Take this and just put it towards getting the club back up on its feet. And I'm going to give 2,500 to gold. 2,500
Yeah.
gold to them. Yeah.
They do that face where they're like, "I'm not going to argue with you right now, but you're getting this money back." Like, I'm
I
not
know,
taking
I
it.
know.
I'll take it from you right now, but we're not having this argument in front of other people.
Yeah.
And they do take the money. They give you a kiss back. They go, "I appreciate it, but if you want to help, do what you're doing now, my love.
Yeah.
All right." And yeah, and they take the just casually 2,000 fucking gold worth of cash. I'm assuming that's like a just a credit card. You hand them a credit card.
It's whatever Renwick gave us as the 2,500.
Yeah, but like
gold value.
that would appear in your bank account. So unless you're giving them your bank card,
All right. So yeah,
it's like Renwick didn't come to you with a big bag of gold and go, "Here you go."
Yeah. All right. So yeah, basically, I'll give them. Yeah, we'll sort it out. But
yeah. You give them equivalent of a bank card.
Yeah.
One of the ones that you have, and are like, there you go. Spend what you need.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else that anybody wants to do here? No.
No.
Where are you going to?
It's all
next?
gone, so
It's all gone.
Boozer's all
whiskey's
gone.
all gone.
Oh, the boss is gone. It's all gone.
Ah.
Oh no.
Are we
where are you going
passing
next?
through? I think the plan was to go to see the Scarsbridge crew, wasn't it? But
Yeah.
on the way there, are we passing anywhere where I might
Get some sausages.
run into or leave a message for Shona?
No, actually, because even if there was somewhere, Mage's Council have moved out of London at the moment temporarily.
Are we changing priorities as well? Are we going to the Scarsdale crew, or are we going to go and check out this refuge that Cadman's talking about?
If the Scarsbridge are information brokers, they may know more about what happened to the Heath.
I'm happy either way. It's more, is Cadman now feeling a need to go there as soon as possible?
I'd like to go there, but I won't obviously force everyone.
Let's do that then.
Yeah.
So we're off to the Heath first?
We're physically quite close to the Heath now.
Okay.
I was about to say, you are quite close to the Heath. I mean, at either point, you're going to come back to it likely anyway. So you head there first. It takes you a short walk. And Cadman, do you think that you've ever been here before? Or do you think you've just heard about it?
Probably not. I may have been through before most of this was built up, but probably not since it's a restaurant, but I've heard.
Since it's been like all developed and stuff. Okay.
Yeah.
So you head over to that road where you've through chats with Lucy, you know that there is a circle spirit here, and they are connected to a circle. You know, the name of the circle is they're connected to a restaurant. I know what I said. His name is Bountiful Harvest. And the restaurant he's connected to is what was the name you guys gave me at the beginning?
Antonio's.
Antonio's, not Angelo's. Angelo. So Antonio's. It's a family restaurant. It started off as like an Italian place, but it then quickly sort of expanded into just a lot of different styles of European foods. So it's expanded just from Italian into like there's French cuisine, and they even went a little bit Spanish and Mediterranean foods, and I just kind of like encompassed a lot of stuff. it has rumored to always be filled out every night, always. It is it's not even that well known. Like if you look it up on like Google and things like that, the reviews on it are like 5-star, but it's never the first thing that comes up. It doesn't need to be. It doesn't need to be reviews. Much like the way that Lucy works, the influence of Bountiful Harvest tends to influence the prosperity of this particular restaurant. And you know that you can go there. There will likely be, as there are with the Lady Luck, mundane people there that have no idea of the effects of this circle spirit on their business. You know that the person, Antonio, is the other name that Bountiful Harvest goes by, much like Lucy goes by Lucy. So Antonio is the person that you're looking for when you go there. You guys are heading to about sort of like 4:30 in the afternoon, evening, sort of whatever that kind of classes as about that time. And you come up towards this restaurant. There isn't any great queues outside, but even at this time of day, when there isn't like supposed to be a rush, there are quite a lot of people inside. There's still a few empty tables, but and this place is huge. It's like almost like somebody had bought 3 shop fronts and knocked through and just sort of.
Cool.
They probably have 2 kitchens. It's big. Yeah, you make your way inside, and can I have perception checks from everyone, actually?
I'd say we're all doing
just
good
one
there.
moment.
I did fairly well, thank you.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So I think Raphy, with the current best, unless Hendrix, never mind.
Hendrix, damn you, Ben!
Jesus.
Bloody rogues.
Sorry.
Fucking rogues, mate. I think both Raphy and Ben here see. Sorry, Raphy and Hendrix see this, because even though Hendrix rose in an insane amount, you both see there's an area at the back of this restaurant. You know those archways that lead into another area that sort of at some point probably was just 2 sliding doors and they just turned it into an archway? Has that glimmer of the days around it. There's a lot of very mundane people going from table to table. None of them are even acknowledging this archway within the restaurant, and you can see through it. And there's just more restaurant space further ahead, and there's maybe a few people further into this restaurant. This is likely a place where more magical people end up, so they don't stick around and mingle with the mundanes. So you enter this thing. There is a woman at the desk, at like a little front of house like podium type thing, and she's sort of like, "Would you like to take a seat? I can bring over your menus. Is it the? I'm afraid we can't have dogs in here." And
Not even in the back.
What was that?
Not even in the back. Through the arch.
Did that? Do you say that out loud, or is that?
Well, he might sort of mutter it under his breath. Yeah.
You see this woman's like. You all see this reaction this woman has is kind of like a unfocusing of her eyes. There's the effect that happens to mundane people when they witness something small of the supernatural world where their brains can't handle it.
It's not that small.
And she's like,
I mean, well,
sorry.
Yeah,
Yes, that's what a dog's supposed to do. Yes,
Yeah.
You may go in. No, she's she's sort of like staring at you guys a little bit glassy-eyed now. Obviously, the effects of the days kind of has sprung her mind a little, and she's like,
You got garden seating that could allow the dog?
yes, I think just at the back. And she points towards an area that goes past the arch. It's sort of like as if you're a mundane person, you could walk down alongside the wall, and go out a set of doors that would lead to the garden. You guys can head that way and just slip into that archway quite easily. And that's what you do. You start heading down there, leaving her there at the podium a little bit dazed. The next set of people come up, and she sort of like takes a few minutes to sort of correct herself. You guys move into this this veiled area, and immediately it's much more comfortable here for you guys. There is a bar there, and there is there's a few people sitting around in the area. There's an elven couple that looks to be enjoying sort of like either a very late lunch or a very early dinner. And there's a couple of people at bar. Cadman, you look up. You look towards the bar area, and there's a familiar face. You see a woman wearing sunglasses and hair writhing with snakes. A Medusa that you had previously been on a date with, I believe. In your backstory somewhere. She is the barmaid at this particular bar. And she looks over, or at least turns her face towards, obviously she's wearing these very special glasses, and goes, "Hey," and that's where we're going to leave it. As you guys enter into this restaurant area. Thank you very much for joining us for episode 20 of Modern Daze. There won't be one next week as I'm away, but hopefully the week after you come and join us. And if you like this show, there are more shows on Wilderspace run by various other GMs and things you may enjoy. Give us a look. We'll see you
Cheers,
later.
folks.
Thanks
See you
all.
later.
Thanks.
Bye.